Revelations from the Tesla files. Elon Musk, a man with the potential for self-destruction. A new book offers disturbing insights into Musk's Tesla empire. Deadly accidents are brushed aside, employees are terrorized, and safety concerns are ignored, all because the number one at the top relentlessly breaks every rule, regardless of the damage caused. Who is Elon Musk? Ever since the world's richest man stepped onto the global political stage this summer, becoming Donald Trump's biggest financial backer, whisperer, state saboteur, and CEO, millions have tried to understand the man who's shredding the old world order with a metaphorical chainsaw. Several biographies and documentaries already exist, featuring interviews with his ex-wives, his mother, his father, his brother, early colleagues, and critics. They portray him as an EV pioneer, a tech genius, a wunderkind, as Iron Man, the film hero who saves the world through his company, the man who builds rockets to one day transport human civilization to Mars. But in their book The Tesla Files, Handelsblad reporters Sunk Iwersen and Michael Verfurden look behind the carefully curated facade. They had no access to Musk's inner circle, family, or Musk himself, and yet they get incredibly close, through an insider view of his most important company, revealing secrets from the realm of Elon Musk, and they unmask him in a new way, through the internal workings of the system he created, one that says more about him than any interview ever could, using data from a whistleblower that exposes shocking abuses, from serious safety gaps to total surveillance of employees. The book indirectly paints a portrait of the richest man in the world. Is Musk a madman, an eccentric, or the greatest genius of our time? The authors ask at the beginning. The answer, says Iwersen, is probably all three, but he's something else, too. A destroyer, a gambler so obsessed with success that he disregards rules and crosses every line inside his empire, just as he now does on the global political stage. He sees laws as unwelcome interference in his business, says Michael Verfurden. He's a narcissist, a despot, and incredibly thin-skinned. Musk and other tech oligarchs like Peter Thiel believe the state should be run like a tech company. The book makes one thing clear: if Tesla is their model, the worst is yet to come. Musk's radical nature has the potential to destroy not only others, but himself. A service technician versus the world's richest man. The Tesla files are not just a snapshot of the Musk system. They also tell the personal story of his greatest adversary, a humble maintenance technician at the bottom of the Tesla hierarchy who, with immense courage and personal risk, gave the world a peek behind the curtain. Lucas Krupski, the Polish technician, who began working at a Tesla delivery center in Drammen, Norway, in 2018, paid a steep price. Musk sent the police after him, had his home searched, his phones and computers confiscated, and even sicked a former CIA officer on him. It triggered a years-long conflict that paralyzed his entire life. Even to this day, the whistleblower was once a tech believer and Musk devotee, even risking his life for Tesla. When a Model 3 caught fire in a showroom, he reached bare-handed into the burning engine bay and prevented a disaster. Musk thanked him by email, but Tesla ultimately didn't want to hear his internal warnings about safety issues and labor protections. He was labeled a troublesome whistleblower who was too critical. Tesla spied on his computer, reassigned him to the basement, and eventually fired him. It's a perfect symbol of the Musk system, because the way his company treated Krupski mirrors how it handles much bigger problems. On an indoor playground full of noisy children, Krupski handed the reporters a treasure trove of data, around 23,000 files, hundreds of PowerPoint presentations, invoices, bank statements, blueprints, and contracts, more than 100 gigabytes of internal Tesla documents, including business secrets from lawyers, banks, clients, and business partners. Do Musk's ambitions outweigh human life? From the puzzle pieces, the reporters pieced together a disturbing picture in months of grueling work. Tesla internally circulated lists of all employees containing extremely sensitive information, from home addresses and social security numbers to salaries. Also leaked private contact details of thousands of customers, plus phone numbers of Musk's ex-wife Tallulah Riley and Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak. The reporters watched as Krupski logged into the IT system and accessed virtually any document at will. Included were thousands of customer complaints, pointing to major issues with the autopilot system. It brakes suddenly on highways or steers into guardrails without warning. Over 1,000 unexplained crashes and hundreds of emergency brakes were documented. An engineer internally called these systemic issues a direct risk to customer safety. "My autopilot nearly killed me," one user wrote. Others weren't so lucky. dying in their Teslas when the cars veered off-road, slammed into a guardrail or tree, and burst into flames in front of first responders. Tesla stonewalled, repeatedly claiming it had no data on fatal accidents. This couldn't be verified, but there were clear signs Tesla withheld evidence and obstructed lawsuits. The reporters call it a structure systematically designed to protect Musk's vision of autonomous driving while shielding critical information from outsiders. Number 1 is all-powerful. Musk steps over his employees just as readily as he does over his customers. Tesla salespeople are reportedly driven like in The Wolf of Wall Street. It's like a cult, a totally insane world, one employee said in the Tesla files. Musk demands employees operate at full throttle, even at the cost of their health. In Grunheit, sick employees were reportedly surveilled at home, threatened with withheld wages, and pressured to waive doctor-patient confidentiality and disclose diagnosis. Some of this may be explained by Musk's upbringing, his Asperger's, his traumatic childhood filled with psychological abuse in South Africa, the broken marriage of his parents, the allegedly violent father who beat his mother and chased her with a knife. Musk himself was bullied, mocked, and beaten in school. These experiences created a man hungry for validation and admiration. Perhaps that's why a totalitarian cult of personality surrounds the techno king at Tesla, as he officially calls himself. He views himself as the ideal human, an efficiency robot with a mix of high intelligence and ambition. According to an internal presentation, his subordinates refer to him only as N1, number 1, the supreme leader, beyond questioning. Musk always plays all or nothing, but the Tesla files also show that Musk consciously chooses to be a system breaker. He deliberately crosses lines, ignores limits, and breaks laws when necessary. It's in Elon's DNA, the authors say. Move fast and break things. At first, it leads to radical innovation, but whether it's truly creative destruction remains unclear. It's chilling to hear Musk say, "The human need to be liked is a real weakness. I don't have it." Kara Swisher, veteran tech journalist at the New York Times, who has known Musk for 30 years, says he's a man who not only sees himself as the center of the universe but insists on always being the hero, and genuinely believes that without Tesla, humanity is doomed. The damage he causes? He doesn't care. It's never about solutions. It's about saying everything sucks and needs to be destroyed. They never tell you what their replacement is, because they don't have a theory of creation. They have a theory of destruction. That theme runs through the Tesla files. You can see how Musk may end up destroying not only the competition, but himself, because he doesn't know when to stop. Commentary by Werner Hoffman. I've met many people who, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, achieved great success, only to implode. And many successful individuals often share one thing in common. It's like a giant wave. After the extreme high comes the deep crash. Whether in the music industry, management, or politics, one thing likely unites them all. They all had an extreme childhood.